They say that in China, the homes are made of tofu and everyone is poor, but our homes in America are made of fucking beef and burger. And luckily for us, our minimum wage is a whopping approximate $8. And unlike in China, where 90% of the citizens own their home with no mortgage, Gen Z will never be able to afford a home ever. So our studio apartment is actually the thing that's made of fucking burger, and it's $1,500 a month, and we'll never own it. And I just say this to say, I wish, like, I'm a little jealous of what they're doing in China, and I wish that perhaps we could do some of it here.
So I'm an American who just landed in China, and this is my first moments outside in China, and this is not what I thought China looked like. So I knew China was super futuristic and stuff, but guys, there is not a single piece of trash in the street. Also, when I checked into my hotel, I asked the front desk lady if I can walk outside at night here, if it was safe. And she just laughed at me and she said, yes, this is China. Coming onto like a main square here, I guess, I'm trying to find an Apple store. There's a McDonald's. That's a crazy, I've never seen a McDonald's like that in my life. Wow, this advertisement of this dog is like 3D kind of. Wow, and look at this. Look at the escalator. It's just glass, so you can watch people go upstairs. And that's a big Labubu, I think? I don't know what's going on. But just look at the architecture. These buildings, I don't know how they make these buildings. They're gigantic. And this is the exact city that Cyberpunk was made after. Over here, they have a KFC. And then there's a bunch of like little stores there. They have like a little street cleaner. That's what I'm saying. The streets are so clean. You don't see any trash. I mean, I don't see any homeless people either.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we question everything. Let's talk why Americans are moving to China.
This message is for you. Why are so many Americans leaving the U.S.? You notice more and more people are packing and moving abroad, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Life in the U.S. is a non-stop grind. You work, you pay bills, you stress, you don't really get to live. You're just existing. And I always say to you guys, you're not depressed, you just live in the U.S. Because the truth is, this environment wears you out. The politics, the rising of the crime, the constant pressure, it never ends. And let's not get on the food. It feels like every week there's a recall, another GMO, some more pesticides, more chemicals. And you know the saying, you are what you eat. So if they keep filling everything up with junk, that means you're actually junk. You don't really get to be healthy. And don't forget about the healthcare. One bill here can wipe out your savings. But in other countries, you get better care for lower costs. Fresher food, calmer lifestyle, and suddenly leaving doesn't sound so crazy after all, right? So for many Americans, it's not about running away. It's about moving forward to something better. So leaving the U.S. is not giving up the dream. It's actually living the American dream.
I moved out of the U.S. 5 months ago, and it was the best decision I've ever made. I was living in New York City, and then I accepted a job in Beijing and moved in February. It's been absolutely life-changing, absolutely life-changing. Since I left, I had American blindfolds on, and now being out of America, they're completely removed. I've realized so much being out of the States that the way that Americans live is not normal. The way that politicians are enacting laws and speaking to people and detaining people and shooting people, like, that's not normal. People don't live like that. And I think people of my generation and the generation below me have gotten so used to absorbing news like that of mass shootings and crime and hate crimes and these crazy laws that are stripping away their rights, that we're just kind of like, that's just how it is. Like, this is normal. It's not. It's not. I walk around outside alone at night, and I've never once feared for my life here. I've never once experienced hate crime. I've never once witnessed hate crime. I've never once witnessed racism here in China. Some countries are worse than others, and I do know that there's a lot of countries that are they have their issues, and there are racist people around the world and hate crime around the world. I do understand. But the way that America is set up, it's kind of like we're conditioned to just learn that this is just the normal way of life. And they're almost enabling it through the laws that they're passing and the rights that they're taking away. Needless to say, never been more stress-free living out of the States, saving so much money here. I'm traveling so much more. I'm meeting so many more people. I have the best community around me. I have the best job. I'm able to go to work and then go out for dinner and travel to another country that weekend and come back and work again. Like, I've never been able to experience as much life as I am in these past 6 months than the first 25 years of my life. I can't express, like, you don't realize it until you leave. You do not realize how much you've missed out and how much you've been just tolerating until you leave. I'm very blessed, and the job that I accepted here helped me move, and they helped with my living accommodation. And regardless, there's so many jobs that are hiring English teachers, translators. It's so possible and it's so easy. I don't like how people are throwing their negativity out and saying, oh, well, it's too difficult, it's too expensive. It's not. Do your research. There's ways to do it. I would love to answer any questions that anyone has about moving or the visa process or what jobs are out here or what the price of rent is. Like, I don't know everything because my situation's really specific, but I do know basic stuff here, and I would love to learn more and research more. So if you do have any questions, I would love to answer. I just do want you to know that it's so worth it. It's absolutely so worth it. Leave the country.
Move to China, y'all. Do it. It is so fun here. It's so amazing. My family and I, we just moved. We've been here 1 week. Best decision we've ever made. So many of my worries and cares that I had in the US just gone overnight. It is just so fun here. Every day feels like an adventure. We just pick a random street, go check it out. Restaurants, new restaurants with delicious food. There's a mall, it seems like, on every corner, and it is so safe. Now, that's not to say there's not some drawbacks, but they are far outweighed by the positives. Good food, nice people, adventure, fun, novelty. I love it. I'm teaching English. That's probably the easiest way. There's other ways, but that's what I did. On a teacher's salary here in America as a foreigner, we can live very comfortably. Our apartment is like $450 a month, and food costs next to nothing a lot of these places. And I love that my son can learn Chinese. I'm trying to learn Chinese. It feels like I'm living life rather than life just living me, rather than just getting stuck in the same rut, doing everything everyone else does around you. And I just love that. I love that feeling. We did it. We moved to China. Check out our hotel. This is the second morning that we've been here, and I'll show you our room. This is the area, just so cool. You actually have to go through this maze of these beautiful traditional style courtyards. But yeah, this is a hotel. Lost, but we're back here. Love it. And our room is over here. Here's our room of the high wood ceilings and this stuff. And our bathroom. Awesome shower. Yeah. I start teaching in 8 days at a kindergarten that my son will also attend. And we have about 8 days to figure out our housing. You know, we're gonna get an electric scooter, we gotta get bank accounts, cards, all of that, everything to just get set up to live here. So follow along if you wanna see what it looks like to move to China.
Yo, let's talk about China as a whole. Working in China, opportunities in China for business, entrepreneurship, tourism. This is coming from my own personal experience. I worked in China. I played professional basketball in China, and I started my own company in China. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know. Okay, number one, working in China. People need to realize if you make $3,000 in America right now, you're probably going to get paid $3,000. You can get paid the same amount in China, but the best part is you're not going to pay for your flight. You're not going to pay for your living expenses, which means that $3,000 goes directly in your pocket. This is after taxes, by the way. They have salaries where it's $3,000 before taxes, or you can tell them you want $3,000 after taxes. Schedule is pretty slight. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen jobs that will give you like 20 hours a week, 25 hours a week. You're not going to be working hard like here in America. And I know some people in China, they don't have the right job or they don't know the right people. Because I'm the type of person, if I go somewhere, if I'm going to travel all the way across the world, I need to make money. I need to be comfortable so I can lock in on what I need to do. All right, number 2, entrepreneurship. I started my own businesses with manufacturers, and it's so easy to get around in China as an entrepreneur. Factories are near, and literally you can start your business inside of China. And what you want to do is take advantage of your American passport. Use the internet and you can start making orders while you're in China. Now, let's say you making $5,000 a month off your business. Well, you don't have no car, you don't have no insurance, you don't have no mortgage, and your apartment is $200, $300, $400 a month. Now you're making money, but your expenses is slim to none. This is how you win. This is how you create real wealth, which will eventually lead you to real freedom. Number 3, tourism. Now, if you're a tourist in China, you have to make sure you're not overstaying, because if you're overstaying, you might get in trouble.
So for some reason, it's just like hard for people to really comprehend what I'm saying. Like when you work in China, bro, they take care of everything. Like everything that I'm telling y'all is 100% true. They take care of you. They give you a free flight there once you get hired, a free apartment, furnished. Everything comes included. You don't have to worry about anything. And no, they're not paying you no cheap salary. When you're going to work there as a foreigner, especially as an American, they're going to pay you comparable to what you get paid here. But the difference is you save a lot more. On top of the free flight there, the free, fully furnished apartment, and sometimes even free meals. Everything is so cheap out there. I'm talking about you don't even have to cook. $2, $3 meals that you can buy for yourself. Best public transportation in the world by far. Subway costs less than $1 to take to most places around whatever city you in. Like these job opportunities are really out there offering all of these perks and even more if you got a family. Like they really look out for their employee. They know as an American, when you're traveling halfway across the world to work for them, you're expecting the best and they do their best to provide that for you. Like these opportunities really be clutch and like a fresh of breath air, because as an American myself, experiencing the system and not really liking it, feeling like I'm bogged down and constrained, like being able to leave the country and finally save and still live a great lifestyle at the same time was like amazing to me. And Americans should be more open-minded to exploring these opportunities, because it was absolutely life-changing for me. Like people got their thoughts about, overseas and China in general, but like as a 6'8" black man, I was extremely comfortable, safe, had no problems, saved my bread, did what I had to do, enjoyed my life, and then when I wanted to come back home to visit family, did that. Everything was smooth. I couldn't believe how seamless it was for me for going to a foreign country I'd never been to before. Like I'm really telling y'all be surprised what y'all find out there, because the life I lived there was way better than the one I lived in America, I'm telling you. And I know a lot of y'all can probably relate to, how stuff going on for y'all in America, but for me, that switch changed my life.
Actually, a lot of black people you'll talk to say they prefer the racism in China over back in the States. They perceive it to be differently because here they see it more as ignorance, whereas in the States it's more like hate. Like people actually hate you and like want to kill you or threaten you violently. But in China, it's more like, it's just different. It doesn't seem like they hate you. Especially when I speak Chinese, I can go almost anywhere and talk to people, at least in the places I've been so far, and people will kind of accept me, I guess. I don't know how else to explain that, but they won't be like, oh, get out of my store. They won't follow me around in the store and see if I'm trying to steal something. They won't be rude to me. Now, that's not the case for all black people. Again, I'm the Obama black, I guess, that Chinese people are more comfortable with. So when you have kind of darker skinned black people, their experiences are much, much different than mine.
Wait, so Americans are really moving to China now? That's weird. I mean, people used to talk about the American's dream. Now it's like Chinese dream. They say it's cheaper, safer, and jobs are paying better in some cities over there. And meanwhile, back here rent, healthcare, and taxes keeps going up. It's funny how the tables turn. Hey, what do you think, people? Would you ever move to China if life got too expensive in US? Let me know below. Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, kindly hit that like button. Also subscribe and join me next time as we break down what's really going on. See you in the next one.